Starting. It's like super bright. Hello.
Hello.
It's comic book time.
Thanks.
Oh, I totally forgot to pick up one.
Yeah.
Wait, do you even eat today? Eh? Oh, you're actually counting. Yeah, I got more. Okay. I have a whole bunch of non-number ones today for my choosing, because that's the way I roll. So yeah. I'm gonna put aside my number ones and kind of run through these really fast because I like them so much. All right. So Zach Kaplan, who also did Eclipse, is in the middle of a run of Port of Earth. It's a really, really great Top Cow image book, basically about Earth has opened up a port for aliens to come and just get water. They're not supposed to come off the port at all. And there's two main ESA agents, which is a protection agency that's supposed to keep the aliens on port and not off port. That's McIntyre and Rice. They have kind of opposite worldviews about the aliens. One of them just really totally doesn't trust them and wants to shoot them if he can. The other one's a full rule follower. And when we last saw them, one of them witnessed the death of their intended fiance. So that's not good, and an alien killed her, so it's not making it any better for those guys. So this happens right after that, and two gorgeous covers, by the way. Find those. Isola, which is a pure image title, Brian Fletcher writing. Amazing, amazing art.
So
just stunning, stunning. I can't imagine this isn't being developed into film. If it's not, someone need to pay attention in Hollywood and grab up this property right now. Right now, like, dial right now.
Yes.
Fletcher. Image. Go get it. So, basically the story of a royal guard who is protecting the queen. The twist in this book is that the queen has actually been transformed into a tiger. We don't know how or why, but the royal guard is intent on bringing the queen to a place called Isola. We don't really know where that is or why. And there's a really weird kind of old looking dude, may or may not be alive, might be a ghost, that's actually following the queen around and telling her that Isola is bad, she shouldn't go there. So it's very, very cool. The tiger's got the best design ever, and these wolves show up in this issue.
Yeah, they look really pretty too.
Yeah, they are really cool. Mm-hmm. Full of mystery. Two covers on this one. The other one's a gorgeous image of the queen, by the way.
Mm-hmm. As a tiger. All
right, Analog has a peek into the future. It's also image. Jerry Duggan, who also wrote other amazing books this week that I'll talk about later from Marvel. Basically, there's been some event that has knocked out all of regular electronics.
Yeah.
Namely, like the internet's done. So governments have to, and people have to, move their information around, especially secret documents, via carrier. And the main character is actually one of those guys that walks around with a briefcase and makes sure that no one who's not supposed to be seeing what's in it gets a hold of that information. So in the last issue, you find out there are bad people. They want to find him, even though he's made himself impossible to find. And they've tried to use his father to get to him, which you don't really mess with his father either. He's also super powerful. And it takes off from there. Really great and twisty. If you like crime noir, you will be right at home. And collects it, which takes, you should see that dropped and caught at the same time. Holy smokes. Superpowers revealed. So, Collects It has been slowly coming out. Number one was a long time ago. Number two came out pretty recently, so you're not that lost. Yeah. So this is a not-for-kids title. Black Mask, the idea is that California is trying to break off from all the rest of the government. And there's like three factions. There's like really like drug runners and actual like regular resistance fighters, etc. And there's like a really truly good bad guy in this one. Follow these three groups around. It's a really good read. All right. Go.
Right.
I'm done.
Alright, I'm gonna do my Marvel now. The one Marvel that I did. Sorta.
I love that cover.
It's great. So you are Deadpool number 2. So oh man. It's kind of hard to explain it. If you caught last week's review of You Are Deadpool #1, it's a choose your own adventure. This one doesn't really have much to do based on what, because I didn't finish, because I didn't go back and try to do all the different endings.
It would take forever to finish this book because there's no real end.
Yes.
It's worth the money because you get to go on and on.
Don't forget your dice.
It's important. And
you gotta make sure you're paying attention to which panel you're supposed to go to. And then, yeah, the cover is really pretty, and this issue takes place in 1961.
So the paper has what kind of look?
It looks like it's printed. It's not actually newsprint, but it's printed to look like newsprint. So
what if you just printed on newsprint?
I don't know, because that I might be able to actually read.
So faux newsprint. I'm sure costs them way more than just doing newsprint.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's nuts. All right. This is a really cool
fact because
thing.
of all of our Alterna books.
Oh yeah, we know what real newsprint looks like.
Yes.
All right. Medieval Spawn Witchblade.
This one looks so good.
So other than the fact that it's super retro, if you love Spawn, especially Medieval Spawn, this is like totally up your alley, and all the cool imagery.
The art looks great.
This is actually written by a cool guy named Brian Haberlin, which is he's got another company with that most of his great comic books and books have this cool technology that actually uses an app that you hold over your book and it makes parts of the images come alive.
Oh, that's cool.
So there's a downloadable one for this one where you actually can have some behind the scenes stuff about this book, and then there's some imagery that moves around, mind-blowingly cool stuff. Brian Haberlin, you bring us all the good stuff to the yard.
All right. Oh man.
Now try not to think about milkshakes. Go ahead.
Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
This Wonder Woman's about.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So this takes place after oh goodness, she just this is a brand new story arc. It's called Dark Gods Part 1. All Hail the Dark Gods. This is of course after she and Cheetah have had their, and Cheetah's been imprisoned for so long, and then she broke out, and then so this is, she is recaptured and being tested on, essentially, to see, you know, they're just trying to make sure that she is okay and can, you know, be controlled a little bit. And so of course, you know, Cheetah and Wonder Woman, they were friends, now not necessarily friends, and if you are reading Wonder Woman, this is a great story arc to start with, to start the new story arc. It's so good. The artwork is, of course, amazing, and there's a twist at the very end, so you've got to read it. If you want to get into Wonder Woman, issue number 46 is the one to get into. So
sweet. All right,
yeah.
Chip Zdarsky always writes the very best insane books. My very favorite. So Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man. This is the storyline called No More.
It's part 1.
So they're basically having problems. They're like trying to travel through time and fixing things a little bit. It's him and J. Jonah Jameson, and I can't remember who else he has with him. Not very many people. No. But the problem is that he's messed with stuff and messed up a possible, I don't think it's necessarily their past or their future, but he's gone far enough back to meet a young self, and he mentions in passing how horrible everything always happens things happen for people that are in Peter's life. Like, all his loved ones get hurt, and they're always in danger. So, and as happens sometimes, Peter's in that reality they throw away the uniform, and they say they're going to give up that life and just kind of live another life. Well, you know, he always picks it back up, and that's not a big deal. It's just kind of like part of his journey. But in this book, in this reality, it looks like that Peter really did walk away, and it's creating a lot of problems. So if you like time and reality jumps, it's actually really good.
Those are the best.
Yeah.
Speaking of time jumps,
Mm-hmm.
And
The other thing that's
reality.
cool is that J. Jonah Jameson realizes that a world without Spider-Man is not a good world.
Oh, well, that's good. That's really good.
Mind-blowing for him.
Flash number 46, all his pasts remembered.
Oh.
And Wally.
Did he get the penance stare? This is the crossover event?
No.
Oh.
Well, okay. So, if you read the No Justice number 0, you know, or you know, even like any of the promo stuff, you know that the wall is coming apart, and basically their universe is, you know, breaking apart. So that you kind of see a little bit of that in this issue as well.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of it is going to there's going to have a lot of mentions of it in other books. You don't necessarily need to read, because even in this one, I read this one first, but I didn't need to in order to understand how it ties to this, because they explain everything that's going on.
That's so cool. I didn't
Here.
realize that his title.
It doesn't really tie in, but because that is what is happening in the universe,
Mm-hmm.
it's happening across many, many books. And I don't remember if I saw it in Wonder Woman. I could have, but that was one of the first books. I think it was the first book that I read today. So, they do have, you know, in some of the other DC books, they're gonna have mentions of it, just because that's what's going on in the universe, because all of the metal aftermath is still kind of happening.
Ho, 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 ho.
So, because this is what happens after metal. So, back to the Flash, though. Yeah, this is still part of the road to Flash War. So, if you want to read Flash War, you're going to need to know what happens in this book as well. And
sense.
I think there was the 2 issues before also were the road to Flash War. And it's going to happen very soon. I'm so excited for Flash War.
Sorry, Rupert, I gotta do her. You're a little bit that hand. All right. So
I will a little bit.
if you needed an actual reason to read Exiles other than it's really adorable and awesome,
Yes.
here's the reason. Exiles number 3. Does that make you crazy?
Yes, it
She
does.
fixes it every time. There's a little flappy, sticky uppy back here, so. Yes, that's a real term, flappy, sticky uppy. Hashtag. Flappy. Alright, so, in the other Exiles, you found out there's someone that's been observing the Earth and realizes there's something very bad that could go on, so they assemble a team. It's Blink. What cartoon Wolverine dude? I don't know where that guy comes from. He's hilarious. He's
so
on the cover.
cute. He is adorable.
Yeah, he's absolutely no use whatsoever. He hides behind stuff. He's really funny. Anyway, and so they've figured out that they need to. They've been jumping through time because Blink keeps on moving them because they're trying to stay ahead of the Time Eater. So it looks like Galactus, honestly, kind of like from the shape. And so they keep jumping around trying to avoid him, and they end up in an era which you would find Peggy Carter. And in this, she is Captain America. So there you go.
She looks awesome.
Yes.
As Captain America, by the way.
If you play the video game, I can't remember the name of it. It's Marvel something something. She is one of those characters in there, so you can actually play as her.
Mm-hmm.
But cosplay galore ideas. There's actually a really cool 1 in 10 variant that we did not get because we were dumb. That's really, really beautiful. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I want it so badly. But barring finding that one, here's one with her on the cover. I think this is just regular C cover or something. It's an open order, so probably everybody has this one.
Cover. First one, the second one.
Oh, maybe it's just main
yeah,
cover.
main cover.
So this one's really cool. It's totally worth a read. You don't have to get 100% married to the entire Marvel universe for this one. It's just fun standalone.
Oh man.
You were saying, you were like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah. Batman is.
Stop writing things she can't say about.
I mean, okay, so I can. So this is part of the Batman Eternal. If you're reading Batman Eternal, yeah, you're doing it right. It's so good. It's so good. There are parts in this book where I just wanna be in the book and go find Ulysses and punch him in the face. And,
dude.
Yeah, I mean, if you're reading Detective Comics, right, you know what's up. So, I can't say anything story-wise, but I love. No, that was in Flash. Never mind. Alfred shows up in Flash, and I love Batman in this issue.
He's full of the snark.
He is totally full of the snark in this issue. Brother Eye, of course, is causing a lot of issues, but
I think he's going through menopause.
no, Brother Eye is the
No,
AI.
Batman.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I mean, you know.
Maybe they should write that into an issue. That would be hilarious.
Maybe right before the wedding.
Yeah, that's the big controversy. Not that a bad guy shows up and he starts totally going through menopause. Oh, don't write that. That's horrible. But I would buy it. All right. The Hunt for Wolverine stories. Remember I told you there was a whole bunch of different parts? Not to get frustrated. They're all going to be good and worthwhile.
I love this cover.
Yeah. This is thebomb.com.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, this one's the Adamantium Agenda. I know, yeah. So, this one, like
what's going on
all
with
four of the titles that have 4 issues each are all different teams trying to hunt him down. You know that the other one that we read, the Magipore one last week, had very specific aims. Basically, you find out that Wolverine was not in that statue in any way, and probably never was. That he was buried and that body's disappeared. And in this one, you meet some characters that they take you back into the past and actually show you where they've before sworn to Wolverine that when he's risking his life and he knows he's going to get atomized by a bomb to save everybody, that they will definitely get his parts back together for him. They've sworn such things, and now they've carried forward that same promise. So that's why they're together hunting him so they can find him. Even if it's just his body, they want to find him because they're not happy with his body being gone.
No.
And there's a huge, gigantical twist at the end of this involving Mr. Cage.
Alright. I'm going to skip that one for now. I'm going to go straight to Oblivion Song number 3.
Yes!
Yeah, so... It's so good. If you're not reading Oblivion Song, you guys gotta find the issues and catch up because...
What's the setup?
He's going back to the Oblivion in this issue, but he's questioning Olive that he had brought back because he's like, I need to know the things. I really need to know the things. So she's been back in the normal world for a while. She finally has a job. She's trying to adjust back, but it's really hard for her. And she doesn't like to talk about it, but she will for him because, you know, he's very nice with her and they're really good friends. But
does she want to come back?
She at first no, because I mean, if you're gonna be in that world, it's like, well, you know, they've accepted their fate. But she does say that she would rather be back with the rest of the normal, be in the normal world.
Create a community there with
because
them.
it's I mean, you guys have seen in 1 and 2 how scary it is for them there. Of course, since time passes differently there, it's like, yeah, they've been there for so long that they've already adjusted at that point. But and adjusting back is of course hard too. But so he meets this guy. We don't know his name.
On which side? Oblivion side?
Oblivion side.
Okay.
And things happen.
Do we know yet what caused Oblivion?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think
know
so.
if it's been addressed at all.
It hasn't been addressed in this issue, and I haven't noticed it in 1 or 2. So, and I read those for a minute to skim it as well.
Cool. Skybound
Or after.
Image.
Yes.
Go ahead and do 2 more because I went too fast.
Did you?
I did. I only 2 left.
Oh, then I'll do these 2.
Oh, there you go. That would be good.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll do this one first. So barrier number 1. So this book, I feel like it's called barrier on a couple different reasons. Language barrier being one, and it takes place in Texas, right along the border. So barrier there. It's this guy. I've got 1 and 2.
Yeah, they were dropped on the same week. This is not an accident.
So I'm not gonna say anything about number 2, but it's really good, and the artwork is of course amazing. But a guy tries to come to America from Honduras, and while that is happening, there's a woman that has a ranch in Texas, and so one of her horses gets killed, and all that is left is the head, and she's like, well, and there was a knife next to it, so she's like, well, okay, must be, the cartel leaving a message saying, this is the route we're gonna take, you have no say in this, this is, how it's gonna happen. She's not quite happy with that answer, with that answer of that's what it is, because it doesn't look, other than the knife, it doesn't really look like something that they would do.
Okay.
So she's trying to figure out where her horse went, because the horse's name was Sprinkles. And
Sprinkles.
you find Sprinkles in number 2, which is on the cover. You can see the bones and ribs. But there's aliens in this book too.
I figured there had to be something. It's Brian K. Vaughan. Come on.
Yes.
It can't be a straight up story.
It's so good. So when Oscar, the guy that is coming from Honduras, he doesn't speak any English at all. You don't have to know English or Spanish in order to read this book, though.
Okay, good.
Everything that they're saying, you can tell by the artwork. It's very well illustrated, very well written, so you know what's going on no matter what. But it was definitely, I understood a little bit of the Spanish, and that kind of makes me happy because I haven't taken Spanish in a really long time. I took a lot of Spanish, but I just don't remember it.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of cool because they open.
They open this way instead of the normal book way. So.
All right.
This one is so.
All right. So Despicable Deadpool number 300. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's hilarious. So this is the other Jerry Dugan I was talking about. Good. He actually crosses more than the 4th wall in this book, in which he puts himself in the book. Like seriously, he's in the book.
With Deadpool.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah.
So himself. He's really, really wanting to kill himself, so he's just making every way possible. He wants the Avengers to kill him. So the problem is that he was approached by someone who gave him, I don't know, it looked like a device, but he put it in his body. You can just guess how and where. But it makes everyone that comes near him throw up. So trigger warning, if you don't like vomit, don't get this book. But yeah, it's full of hilarity.
They put it in the Marvel books, and it only affects me.
It's true. So it actually brings back a lot of people from his past. So his old friend, S.H.I.E.L.D. agent friend,
so much.
is back. What is her name? Zilka?
Is this the one where they said Mr. Gabriel?
Huh? Oh, yeah, I think in this book, lots of times they actually mention Mr. Gabriel, which is hilarious. It's either that one or the Spider-Man one. I think it might be the Spider-Man one.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny because Mr. Gabriel works for Marvel.
Yes. All right. Oh, man.
The thing we've been waiting for.
Yes. Justice League No Justice number 1.
It's a Snyder book. Yay!
Antonian, Ann Williamson, and Manipul.
Okay, all the good ones.
Oh, it's so good.
I didn't know what to think about this book.
Okay.
It was a weird ordering book because I was like, everyone will want it, or everyone will be like, what is it?
Okay, so, well, and if you get the number 0, you kind of have a glimpse of what's to. It gives you kind of a flash of the future, because in this book they don't have their teams yet. But if you saw in any of the ads, you've got their 4 teams. I can't remember the names of all of the teams right now, but it has very much to do. This is the aftermath of metal.
Don't want her. She can't do that. She's allergic to you.
If you like new things, pick this one up. If you want to, read it after metal, you can do that too. You don't necessarily know what happened in metal to pick this one up. Alright. Just know that after metal, their wall of the universe has a crack in it, and things happen, and this book, that's all you really need to know.
DC for the win!
Also, Amanda Waller is up to all kinds of...
When is that woman up to any good, really, honestly?
She's
only up for stuff herself. Alright, so Donny Cates has made his jump to Venom this week. This is the one you've been waiting for.
We love you, Donny Cates.
It's so good. Without giving away too much, it appears that Eddie Brock is having a lot more problems with the symbiote really not making a lot of sense. He started to really kind of just really go off the end, like he'll all of a sudden start threatening Eddie that he's just going to like explode him from the inside, and so Eddie has to take the medicine that dumbs down, like it's a psychotropic, so and Venom doesn't like that part, but it's clear that there's some next level changes that have been happening, and in the book
so
Eddie meets another person who indicates that the Venom symbiote relationship, or the symbiote person relationship, has been going on for way longer than anyone has imagined. And in fact, he and multiple people were involved in that. So that part is cool history. And then on the last page, you get to see a whole new character, which the implications of what this thing is are super scary. Way to go, Donny Cates.
Of course.
All right, everybody, that's it for today.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming out and supporting your local comic shop for a free comic book day.
Yes.
I heard they were a lot of fun all around the world. Go see them this week and pick up some new books. Give them some love. If you are traveling or you don't know where to go find any of this stuff, comicshoplocator.com. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.